Hello, everyone. My name is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. And yet again, I brought another fantastic group of independent comic book creators. So please hit like, hit subscribe, share the video, let everybody know we're here. And once again, I brought this guy back on.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am JD Rosario from Unstoppable Comics. Been making comic books since 2008. Hanging out with this guy a little bit later and talking to all of you guys and gals about the stuff that we've been doing on our creative journey making comic books. And I'm sure Calderon has brought on one hell of a cast. So why don't you bring him out, brother?
We got this guy again.
What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The guy with the quick, easy explanation of what's going on.
There you go.
I'm Tom. It's Big Dog Inc. I write comics. Let's go.
There you go.
What was that? There was no juice. There was no.
I saved the juice for the show, sir.
Always got to save the juice for the show.
There you go.
How's it going, guys?
Going well. James, please introduce yourself.
I am James Burton, creator behind Damage Inc., and most notably recently, Scatter Comics, The Ballad of Nod.
Cool. So, Ray, please introduce yourself.
Ray Jameson, writer of the Madcaps, just taken on to do short story for Paranauts, and one, maybe two more on the way. Happy to be on, and always a pleasure to have these fine hosts facilitate a good time.
I think he's lying to us, but okay.
I'm not lying. I'm sitting.
It's that Canadian niceness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
I ran into some of the geese you sent today, Ray.
Yeah. If you get one in a triangle, I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying. Author of SWAT, some other stuff you've never heard of, and there you go.
All right, cool. Justin, it's good to have you back, brother. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I'm pretty sure you've all seen the show question. So remember, that's just the beginning. I got a bit more to add to it. So the basic question is, can indie comics survive without Kickstarter? The answer is yes. So let's move on to the other part, the more interesting part of the question, right? So are there any viable alternatives? Meaning, can we as indie comics survive at the level that we've been surviving at without Kickstarter? Okay, so like most of us are accustomed to generating a certain amount of revenue through Kickstarter and Kickstarter only, or primarily, right? Can we somehow replace that? That's the question. James, no. Justin, sorry. Last man in, first man up.
I think, if they're actually end up enforcing that, which I kind of doubt, because they're going to lose a lot of money if they stop having the titty comics. You know what I mean? Like if we can't put big-breasted women on the front, I mean that's going to cost them a lot. So I kind of doubt they're going to do it.
How many things? How much effort is it going to take to replace it?
How many what? You broke up there.
Oh crap! Did I fade out? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. I don't think it's a problem about whether it can be replaced. It's about how many different things we have to do to replace it.
Okay.
Man, what the heck? Like, you have to explore other channels. You have to explore things like Zoop. You have to go to cons. You have to go to different things. Whereas some of us treated Kickstarter like it was a one-stop shop.
All right. Well, hold on. Justin, will you... So elaborate on what you were saying.
Well, I kind of think they're not going to do it, but I think comics are the kind of thing that can attract an audience. It's not going to, like, the fans will go to wherever everyone sets up shop, whether that's Indiegogo or something else. So, I mean, it would be salvageable, I would imagine. I mean, I don't think people are accidentally going to Kickstarter to buy comics. I think they're going to Kickstarter to buy comics. Rather, I mean, especially with indie comics, it's very expensive. I mean, this is a fan base that they're into it. They're not just passing by and getting an Archie omnibus off the grocery store rack, like I used to, so I would think it would be a matter of figuring out, like, hopefully not fragmenting into 20 different, fundraising sites, but finding one that, can be the mecca.
Mhm.
But I mean, why can't it be Indiegogo or whatever? Fund My Comic or something. All these websites act like they're just unstoppable, but they all die eventually. So that would be my thoughts.
All right. Ray, what are you thinking?
Well, as the saying goes, innovation is the mother of necessity. I think whatever the solution was, assuming it went down that path, I don't know what the solution would be, but if there is one, I don't think we know what that is yet. That's what I maybe, like Justin was mentioning, 20 different sites, or we've got Kickstarter has competitors, and I understand Justin's point. It's great of why would Kickstarter give this up to competitors? I think when we were talking Friday about the potential of just you can only look at Kickstarters with profiles, or the ones that are 18 plus, you need to be on a profile that says, hey, I'm 18, and Kickstarter can now wash his hands of it. But if we were to survive without it, there's too many options to scoop up that business. But that's my ramble.
All right, cool. James,
Yes,
moved,
sir.
you moved to a brighter portion of the house.
Yeah, I went to a place where my Wi-Fi was performing better since it was breaking up and treating me like I was in the 90s. I apologize. All of a sudden, I went back in time for 20 years.
Gotcha. So, James, what are your thoughts on the question? I know you answered a little bit of it.
I tried to. I don't think it's that we can't replace things like Kickstarter. It's like we have to expand. Meaning there are people who don't go to the cons, who don't try to sell things, who don't try to maximize their local audiences, who don't try new things like Zoop or Fund My Comic. And it varies how successful those things are. But I think with the challenges that everybody's facing on Kickstarter, some of that means they got to diversify those things. People's attention go in different ways, and you got to work on your audience and not just rely on Kickstarter to bring the audience. So it's not so much a question about whether you can survive without Kickstarter. It's about what are the other things you're doing to maximize it in the other channels.
All right. Tom, what are you thinking?
Well, we're all hung up on this boob book aspect, but boob books are not the internet, or are not the industry. So anybody who doesn't do them is going to be on Kickstarter still. I mean, they're just going to stay there and keep doing their thing. It's the real question is where do the other folks go, and how do they manage what they're doing? And the answer is what everybody's said basically is there's competitors for crowdfunding all over the place. Now there's the other side of it though. How many of those are run by Stripe on the back end? So if you were to go to Indiegogo and they were like, well, no, Stripe has the same rules, you're stuck. So some of the fallout of this is going to be more along the lines of just specific types of books not existing for a while potentially, because there's no place to put them, assuming again that these types of rules are rolled out across other platforms. But I think that going back to the general question, can indie comics survive without Kickstarter? Yes. Can they exist without crowdfunding? That's a different question. I think that's a much harder yes to say. Now, again, there's still options. You can put your stuff up as web comics, sell your stuff on your own website, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing with crowdfunding is that crowdfunding gives you a moment in time to be special, right? Hey, we're doing a thing. It's going to be here for 2 or 3 weeks. Come be a part of this group of people, so on and so on and so on. It's a driver to your product. So if you were to do the exact same thing, like your exact same book, have your exact same variant covers and whatever, and just put them on a website and say, hey, these are all on our website, come and get them. It's not the same effect as a crowdfunding, period of time. And so Sure, you could do it, but you wouldn't have the same result. So it really is about commanding your audience and just basically saying, look, Kickstarter's not working for us. We're going to Fund My Comic. We're just going to move everything over there. You got to let everybody know we're over here now. We're using BackerKit now. We're using Zoop now. Whatever it is, you got to be able to drag them from one place to another. Problem is, again, people don't like moving. They don't like a new system. They don't like having to reintroduce their credit card numbers. They are very much like, this is what I like. I know people who keep asking me if I'll ever put my stuff on Indiegogo because they won't use Kickstarter. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to Indiegogo to get one guy to pledge my campaign over there. So that doesn't make any sense. So there's a lot of layers to all of crowdfunding and all of the people that, you know, we need to like come to whatever site we're using and make it work. The only other option right now that's truly working is Fund My Comic. All the other sites are very new and trying to figure themselves out and how's it going to work. I think BackerKit has had some success as far as doing things in a crowdfunding sense. I haven't really looked at them, but they're always bugging me to do stuff. So I think the answer is yes, we can survive, but it's going to be a very different type of place. Because again, even if you were like, well, I'll just go back into stores, you can't even do that anymore because Diamond's gone. That was the generally open gate for anybody who wanted to get into comic stores. But now that gate's closed. And all of the gates into Lunar and Penguin and whoever, Massive and whoever else, all of those gates are barely open. So, you know, it's a really tricky time, but it's more tricky for the adult stuff than it is for just, hey, I've got a superhero book or a fantasy book or a, you know, book about dolphins or whatever. It's what you produce that's going to kind of determine what you have to do and figure out.
Cool. Jay, what are you thinking?
Sky's falling. Didn't you hear? It's falling. Sky's falling all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Come on, man.
It's 1992 again, right?
Yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying, bro?
1999.
And 2009.
They're going to have to do their work now, right? There's some folks who've got a community. They've utilized the Kickstarter platform. If they've done not safe for work books to build up a group of folks that will always follow them, no matter what platform they've gone to. All right. Then there's those that come here and fly by night. And I've made jokes about this a ton of times. Whenever I say, hey, what do you think is needed to sell books? I would say tits, right? How many of them actually took that to heart and would just slap a fucking set of tits on the covers, a couple in the interior pages, no story with it, basically a pinup book, and made $6,000 or $7,000. Say, I make comic books, and then you never see them again. Those people are going to be fucking gone, right?
Yeah, those people are going to be gone, but there's a lot more than just them who slap a set of boobs on their cover and try to sell it. I mean, some books aren't even not.
Yeah, but what he's saying is there's going to be some shakeout. There's going to be people that are just like, this isn't worth my time anymore.
And it's not just boobs, right? It's graphic content.
Yeah.
Okay. I do zombie books, right? At what point is zombie stuff going to be on pause, right? Where's that dividing line? Where would a book like, if somebody had the license to Saw, where it's gore porn, pretty much, would they be able to do that? But this is the chink in the armor that all those other platforms are waiting for, whether it's understood now or not, right? And, you know, nature abhors a vacuum. Something will fill that void. Something else will come down the pipe. This is constantly evolving. 10 years ago, we didn't have Kickstarter at all. What the fuck did we do then? Yet we're still here. Calderon's still here. Tom is still here. I'm still here. James, I don't know where you're at in your creative journey. Ray, I know where you're at. Yeah, okay. Justin, I know, you're still relatively new with stuff going on over here. But we've survived it. We've grinded it the fuck out. And that's what you do. You put your fucking boots on the ground and you do your fucking work. And you'll find something by hook or by crook, because we love this shit. We got stories to tell. We got people that follow us, and they're going to follow us no matter where the fuck we go.
Yeah, that's a hopeful outlook.
But I mean, I think at this point we have to try to be hopeful. But to Jay's point, like, yeah, I mean, we all have an issue with the platform, what's going on. I do have a certain segment of books that I sell that are titty books, right? Or at least the covers are anyway. The content on the inside is not that, though. But I've been using these types of covers to help me cover a gap in paying my artists, right? Like they generate enough revenue that I'm able to cover that spread, right? So I'm having to go back and like really monkey around with one of my campaigns that I was just prepping up to launch in a probably about a month. But I've just Zoop has a new thing going on. They have a new website, but you can put it up, and you have to have at least 25 followers for them to move it into the launch phase. And on top of that, they build the campaign for you, right? I don't necessarily know how I feel about that, because if they're building it, they're controlling it, right? And then on top of that, how much of it are they, how much of a cut are they going to get out of it, right? So that's another, but that's an entire different conversation, right? Like what are they charging? And then IGG, not necessarily the best place to go if you don't have an audience, right? If you're just looking to build an organic audience, which is what we've all been able to do on Kickstarter, IGG is not a good place to do that. I mean, I've been there plenty of times. If you don't bring your own audience, you're screwed. I've seen, it's just not going to work for you, right? The other thing that I had, going back to what Jay was saying, I was looking through some forums, right? I was looking through the Comics Launch forum specifically, and Daphne had informed me about this earlier, so I said, let me go take a look. Clay Adams was talking about how they blocked one of his campaigns because of violence, all right, through just through graphics. And I mean, and I'm like, I'm looking at I'm seeing he posted one page that he said he's used over and over again from prior campaigns, and it's pretty tame, and there's a cover where he has two headless people, and I'm like, okay, maybe because there's two headless people in it, or two heads being held up, someone got really sensitive about that. But I'm like, at what point does it stop? Right? Like now it's, I guess, pornography or whatever. Next is going to be horror, right? And then what's going to come after that, right? Is it going to be you can't show a handgun? You can't show a bazooka?
That's the more serious part of the topic. The first challenge about dealing with all the different effects and where we're going to go for anybody who's making not safe for work books, that is important, but it's only one element, like you said.
Right.
It's a lot bigger of a challenge about the whole First Amendment style discussion, which is, where is my artistic freedom? Where is my ability to say and show what I want to show? All those legal fights and all the stuff that everybody fought for in the 60s and 70s and 80s to get rid of garbage like the Comics Code and all the different challenges required a lot of different people, and they showed a lot of crazy stuff in the middle of it. Larry Flint is a good example. Yeah, he was pornography, but the reason why he went through all that legal garbage was about that First Amendment. This one is a private party trying to say what they approve so that it can go out and do what, enforce what they want to enforce. That aspect of it, the aspect where people don't get to show what they want to show, and all of its varying levels, like you just said, JD, where does it stop? I'm not a big fan of NSFW. I've never done one, and I don't intend to. My book is a YA book, as an example, but I'm just as concerned, like what you said. My other book, it's guys hunting monsters with guns. So what? They can't blow a guy's head off with guns. They can't show a gun. They can't show somebody getting kicked or whatever it is. Where does it stop?
Right. I mean, that's the real issue, or I think the real question is like, where does it stop? Right. Tom, you do good girl art basically on your covers, right?
Yeah.
right? So what's going to happen on the day they say, well, that's too much, right? I mean, that's just, I mean, that's how far it can go.
Of course it can. Of course it can. But at the same time, while that is happening, while Kickstarter is destroying itself in that regard, there will be other channels that are opening up. And so you have to be aware of what exists now, and what might pop up that can be useful to you. I mean, you have to, because it is private enterprise. All these are private enterprises. They can decide whatever they want to decide.
But what isn't private enterprise, right? Are the legal notions to all this? How many states can you not sell porn in, right? Isn't that why the comic book legal defense fund started, was to defend comic book store owners who sold ultraviolet books, Italian erotic books, right? In states where this stuff was not allowed.
Right.
This was said the other day.
But that's
for the pornographers.
Yeah, but you're talking about states and federal and government and rules and laws. This is private enterprise saying we don't want that.
This is private enterprise, right? But is this also the crowdfunding community finally having to join the fight that they've been trying to stay out of? Right? The whole Moms Against America, books being banned from libraries. It's now bleeding into our territory of crowdfunding. Do we need to stand with the not safe for work books, whether it's ultraviolet, whether it's porn, whether it's whatever, because we're defending their right to make their books, because we don't want them to come to us. And if this is the time for us to stand jointly as a community, then this is the time we need to stand.
Well, yeah, no, 100%. That's the truth. 100% that's the truth. Nobody should be tearing down and happy that somebody's getting their work shut down because of this or whatever. That's crazy. And because it's crazy because what we talked about, because if it starts with these extremes, but then once those become normalized, then it's more and it's more and it's more and it's more, and eventually it's gone. But at the same time, again, as Kickstarter destroys itself in this capacity, if it does do that, there will be other places and other formats and other platforms that will spring up and be havens for everything in some cases. But again, if Stripe is attached to, and I don't know if they are or not, but if they're attached to Indiegogo or anybody else, this will end up becoming a platform-wide problem. And that's where that is. So it would take some people to just kind of come in and just build a new thing and just say, look, we're just going to run it, man. But I mean, ultimately, I think this can fix itself very easily. The question is Kickstarter savvy enough to do it? Because they haven't been savvy enough to do some really basic shit in the past. And just doing, like we've talked about before, Stripe does things with OnlyFans and Pornhub and stuff. So what's the difference? The difference is they have age gates. So if you need to put an age gate on Kickstarter so that kids aren't seeing that stuff,
I honestly
then do it.
I think that's the minor end of it, the age gate. I think the major end of it is that they have financial stakes in those corporations, whether it be Pornhub or OnlyFans.
Sure.
I think that's the bigger end of it, because those are done through private equity, hedge fund management, and all that stuff. So those guys, I'm pretty sure, lean on Stripe, who's also funded by a bunch of those people who also have common interests. They're like, yo, get off of them. How do we know they're not trying to leverage Kickstarter to get a piece of that action, of that money, of that company?
Right.
You understand? I mean, this it's insane. You understand what we see, the level of greed that's going on here. The guys do you know why I did some quick research into Stripe. The guy who owns it and runs it is 41 years old. He's like some kind of super genius. And the reason Stripe is used a lot is because on the back end, it's very easy to use their stuff. You just plug it in and they'll format it to whatever system you have and they'll be able to push forward, right? That's why. Also on top of that, it's available to 135 countries. in 164 languages. Okay, so it's worldwide, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why they don't want to go, because there are other processors. There's a bunch of them.
Okay,
But I don't think they have the reach.
How many people remember the days where, was it Amazon or Apple that was doing the processing for Kickstarter and had problems? I think it was Amazon.
That
Right?
that was a while ago. Yeah,
That was a while ago. I think it was 2013. I know. I was struggling to receive my payments. Almost every campaign I had an issue. I haven't had any issues since Stripe. Right. But it's time for my question. I don't want to say it's the real question. But how do you protect the people that have already been following you if you get booted from any platform? What are you doing as an independent creator, independent business person, somebody who's worked a hell of a lot of hours to build up a base of consumers that will always buy your stuff? How do you make sure that no matter where you go, what you do, they will find you?
Well, the first one I think they talk about in Comics Launch a lot is to build up your own email list.
Yep.
And to take the reins and communicate with people and to bring value to them in other ways, other than just letting a platform kind of make those decisions for you.
Okay. All right.
Ray, what are your thoughts?
First thing is, I guess a roundabout way of saying it is giving back. So giving back to the community in certain, like, there's so many different ways. For me, I do a lot of reviews for comics. That's one of many ways to get a person's name out there. Now I'm small potatoes compared to the rest of the game, but like I was saying before, I don't think there's any like fixed specific thing, but like I was saying before, also the necessity of innovation is when you just need something. So as this comes down the line, hopefully it fixes itself out. But if it doesn't, there will be, life will find a way, I guess is a good way to put it.
Like that. Life will find a way. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Justin.
I don't think I have anything to add that hasn't already been said.
Well, one thing I would add is a couple of minutes ago, Kira chatted down in there that the LGBT plus community, all that, has had all kinds of different censorship as well. So they may be banning anything with porn at the moment, anything that's NSFW at the moment, but it can reach out to anything they don't find, anything that they don't agree with. So it may not even be limited to the concept of violence and or graphicness. It can branch out to other things. And what Kira said is kind of disturbing. What kind of things, what if they decide they don't want any stories of bears or any stories that don't have to do with making somebody they care about look good? So you're right. Everything will find a way, and there will be other platforms and the rest of it. But, that kind of thing shows up in a lot of different aspects, and it's kind of a slippery slope.
Tom, what are your thoughts?
The email list has been the myth of our industry for a long time. I don't think that it's a flawed idea and notion, but the reaction to emails is so minimal. You have to have an email list that is astronomical. We've talked about the funnel before on these shows. You've got to have an astronomical email list for it to really have any sort of driven hard effect. Let me give you an example. I sent 4,000 emails out on my last campaign. 4,000 emails were sent out.
Wow.
When you track that 4,000 emails and you track the clicks and all that kind of stuff, of that 4,000 emails, I'm trying to remember this back through my head now, roughly it was less than 400. No, sorry. It was about 1,000 opened it. It was about 400 clicked the link that was in it that would take me to the campaign. And of those 400 that clicked the link, 6 people actually bought something through that system. 4,000 down to 6.
Wait, what was it? 4,000 is 6 people?
4,000 emails
Right.
got me 6 purchasers.
Wow. Yeah. That's not
That's
right.
good. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking?
That's not good.
I'm not, because
not
you're
good.
breaking down 10%, right? You're going from 4,000 to 400, 400 to 4, right? 4,000 would have gotten it. 400 would have opened it.
You're
clicked.
talking, but you're talking about a diminishing percentage all the way down.
Right.
If you were talking about 4,000 and 10%, it should have been 400. Do you know what I mean? So yes, but you're talking about a diminishing percentage through every link. But this is my point.
Yes.
This is my point. Is the email will start you somewhere, and it will come down to whatever it is. So there's nothing wrong with an email list, but people don't, just like people don't use social media the way that we think that they use it, because we're always on it all the time.
Right.
The general public is not on social media all the time. I get people all the time that months after I do a campaign, I'll be like, "Oh, hey, we got this book and it's for sale." They'll be like, "Where did that come from?" I'm like, "Dude, we kickstarted this like 4 months ago," and they are they're regular fans, but they had no idea that it was happening. So that's really the problem. We can say wrangle your audience and drag them to a new platform and all that kind of stuff. Like, of course, yes, that is 100% what we have to do. Problem is that attention spans and too much else going on in the world, sending them an email or sending them, or getting like somebody talked in here about sending updates through previous campaigns and stuff. That's all just emails, right? And how many emails do people get in a day? My email is stupid full of stuff. And I know for a fact that I don't read all of the messages and updates that I get from other people that have, that I've backed their campaigns in the past. So it's wrangling your audience is very, very difficult. There are very, very few examples of it having happened in comics. And the one at the top is Brian Pulido. Brian Pulido's managed to wrangle a couple thousand people that come to his campaigns every single time that he does a campaign. At least for Lady Death. I don't know about the other books, but for Lady Death. So that's the template. It exists. It's right there. But the amount of work, effort, energy, and a team, by the way, because he's got like a dozen people that works for Coffin Comics.
Right.
The team, there's a lot that goes into what he does. It's not just simply they made a Lady Death comic and here comes everybody. So, the template for doing it it exists out there. And somebody else messaged, he's one of the guys that jumped off of Kickstarter. He now has his own platform. He just built his own thing and runs it all there now. So the template to do all of this is there. It's a matter of who has the time, energy, and oomph to do it either for themselves, just by themselves, or for the industry as a whole. And that's where some of these guys that are doing like Go Fund My Comic and Zoop and these other places that are coming up, these guys have the drive and the desire to actually create something that has use for people like us that are doing what we do. But they are all private entities and they can change their mind about whatever they want whenever they want. So it may be a situation where things are bouncing around a little while until it either something comes along that is hey, look, this is the new point, or we've all found a way to wrangle our audience and get 300 or 400 people to come to our website whenever we launch a thing. But again,
all right, cool. I mean, obviously we have the mailing list. I think Substack is another good resource, but I think unfortunately, is just spreading yourself out, right? Like,
Cool.
If Facebook is crushing you, you got to move over to Twitter. If Twitter's crushing you, you got to move over to Instagram. If your Instagram's crushing you, you got to move over. And unfortunately, it's one of these things where it's like, we have to spread ourselves out, right? And it's not something anyone. I mean, who the hell has the time for that shit? I got a full-time job. I want to make comics. On occasion, I like to squeeze in an hour of TV every now and again. So it's like, who has time for all that stuff, right? Yeah. So it's definitely difficult, but I think the real key is to spread yourself out.
That is 100% accurate.
Yeah, diversify is, of course, but we talked about this before too. It's
yeah.
ROI, and the investment is sometimes money, sometimes it's energy and time.
Yeah.
Like it's what's there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right. It's work. You need to put in as much work to promote your brand as you are to create the books that you're trying to promote, if not more. Right? You got to put out a minimum 3 times a day on 7+ different social platforms just to generate attention and become recognizable. Right? That's work. That's fucking work. Mm-hmm. It's no longer. I'm really digging this topic tonight, right? Because we're going into some meat of all of this shit, and it's no longer people just resting on their laurels because the Kickstarter algorithm pushes you for those first 2 days, and then they pushes you for those last 2 days, right? You got to learn how to fucking do the work now, not just make the book.
I'll give you a good example on just Facebook for myself. Every Sunday, leading up to before I would do any campaigns, I would join groups that had anything to do with the products that I was promoting. So mine is obviously comic books, but it's fantasy and tabletop RPGs. So I would join those groups months in advance, in some cases a year or two, as I built up my social profile. And as I contributed to those, every Sunday I would give the new image of the week. So the image would be like, we're 100% funded now, or whatever the case is. But to upload, to get onto each one of those groups, each one of them has certain stipulations. So you have to find the most universal thing. And what I ended up doing after a while, I wouldn't even put URLs or anything. I would put on the picture link in my profile, and it would take me 45 minutes of going to each group and dropping the image in and pressing send. And that's just one social media platform.
Yeah.
Like it's very, I can't imagine, like, Jay, when you end your show and I see all those social media tags, I'm just, I immediately am like, start sweating like, oh man.
I know, bro. It's crazy, right? But we got to, for lack of a better term, we got to become attention-seeking whores if we want to sell our fucking books.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't like this. A lot of people don't like this, right? Bootlegger, I get it, bro. We're not Brian Pulido, right? We're all fucking here talking to each other. It's a big fucking circle jerk right now. That's what this is. That's what it is.
As long as we're not a circle.
Oh, you got a nice book. Oh, you got a nice book. Fucking great. That's what it's fucking going down in all these different podcasts, right? When nobody's getting to the meat of this shit. Hey, let's fucking hang out. Kumbaya. Fuck that. Let's get to the meat of this shit. Are you fucking really doing something? Are you really fucking doing something? I don't care if it's a social message or whatever the fuck it is, right? You got a good story to tell. Are you proud of the story you tell? Fucking good shit. Now get out there and speak about it like you're fucking dying tomorrow. That's what you got to fucking do.
Jay, did somebody touch you today?
Fucking you know what? I spent 2 fucking hours building a fucking.
He did not get the right coffee this morning.
My fucking computer went on the fritz. And if I had the fucking result that Tom had with 3,000 people, and I only got fucking 6 people, I'm shitting on myself, okay? Because I got to go back and redo this motherfucker if the goddamn draft didn't save. That's where I'm fucking at right now. So, yeah, I'm filled with coffee and chaos right now. I'm fucking going.
Trust me, Jay, we can feel it.
I haven't had a drink since February 18th, okay? Fuck, everybody's going to fucking catch it. How much legal trouble can I get into for saying that, Justin? Am I in trouble?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm not entirely
All right.
following what you're doing, but
But you know what? You know what though, Jay? We all have our own ballad to sing, and so does Nod. So,
Hey.
What a conversion.
James, please talk to us about your book.
Ballad and Nod, like I said before, is kind of YA. The story itself is about a little girl who is going through the grief and the hardship of her father passing. And that grief summons a bunch of nightmares from the dreamlands who've been hunting her down as she tries to go in and find the teddy bear they kidnapped. So it's like halfway through the story where she's finally facing the demons head on. It's pretty ethereal, and it's based on all the experiences I went through as I fought cancer and as my daughter had to deal with how sick I was and all the grief that came at the same time.
All right, cool. Now this is the third and final issue in the arc.
It's the third of 6. It's
Third of 6,
about
okay.
halfway through the story.
All right, very nice.
That's a
very
cool premise, man. That's really neat.
Now, when are you planning on launching?
Following.
I'm trying to launch in the middle of June, around the 15th or so, and then it's going to go into July.
All right, cool. All right, looking forward to it. You know, I always back these. They're a great book. Love it. So everybody.
That's
So-
important to me that everybody enjoys it.
Yep. Cool. Next up, we'll bring up some madcaps. We are going to not play the video.
That's the running gag. Yes, we will not play the video.
So, DM, talk us through this.
Well, we're already funded, and we're taking late pledges.
Cool.
This is Sword and Sorcery in a 3-issue miniseries. It has everything you would want in a fantasy setting, and I've had many compliments in regards to it's far enough outside of the box that it's unique, but not so far out that it doesn't feel like fantasy. So if you like undead, if you like melee and magic, this is probably the thing for you. There's lots of different really cool options, including t-shirts and blankets. There's a D&D option where if you want to play a one-shot with a professional dungeon master, there's lava foil. That's a glow-in-the-dark there. This is colored by Dan Kemp. This is drawn by Victor Medina. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Check it out if you haven't yet. And late pledge is still open, so go ahead and back.
All right, cool. You guarantee the book is going to come out because, one, you know, Mr. DM always puts these out, and it's already funded, so you're good to go. So you
Yes,
can go
sir.
grab them and feel safe that this book is going to come out. So,
And it's the whole story, all 3 issues. So it's not like you're buying one issue or that. I know some people really like getting all 3 together. This is the first time I've had the privilege to say, here's the entire story arc in one campaign. So yeah, have a look through it and back while you still can.
there you go. How long do you plan to keep the late pledges going?
I think no more than a month, might be less than that.
Okay, cool. Very nice. All right, so everybody go check it out. The Madcaps. All right. And all right. Justin, we got SWAT. Now, I'll play your video because you're new.
Oh, that's
All right.
funny.
A few months ago, the St. Louis Budget Committee decided to cut spending. They already cut the library and the schools, and band and shop, and English, public transportation, healthcare, housing, sewage, and roads. Did I miss anything? Anyway, the leaders of SWAT had a choice: fire someone or come up with an elaborate plan to make themselves indispensable, even though they hate it here. The plan, well, it goes about as badly as it possibly could. March 16th. doesn't. In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are not their stories. These are not their stories at all. This is the story about the cops other cops don't know even exist. They aren't the guys who deal with rapists and pedophiles. They deal with the stuff that would give those special victim knobs the screaming purple Henrys. This is the Secret Wizard Assault Team.
All right, cool. So Justin,
yeah. Oh, go ahead. Okay. Yeah,
no.
we've already done this one on Zoop. It's completed, but I wanted to restart on Kickstarter, because at least until this week's announcement, it was the where I should have been the whole time, and just kind of get momentum going on Kickstarter for it. So it's kind of what if Harry Potter was just sort of a loser who survived a school shooting, and now he's a busted up St. Louis detective trying to get to his pension, and then they end up going on this insane adventure to save their friend's job that spirals out to the point where they totally would have just fired that guy if they'd known how it was going to go. So, it's kind of what we do in Shadows meets The Wire. A lot of sharp dialogue, character-driven comedy, that kind of thing. The horror element's very much in there. It can segue very quickly from one to the other, depending. So, the cast of characters there's Larry Slaughter. That's that guy. He got kind of famous by shooting an evil, or especially famous villain during a school shooting, and that kind of ruined his life. And he's got a lot of guilt and trauma from that he carries over into this job where he's trying. I mean, he's a natural protector. Like, he'll take a bullet for you, but he's also very, very tired at the start of the thing. And it's kind of about the sense of exhaustion I think all of us, or most of us, are feeling at this point, just in general with, the world, where you're just kind of tired of everything falling apart around you and trying to keep everything together with duct tape. So.
All right, cool. Now, I was scrolling through real quick. It says there's 36 issues or 36 parts to the story.
Yeah, I've read. I've actually written. Depending on, I just now finished a couple weeks ago. I finished the sequel, which is just a 3-story arc called The M-Files. And I don't know if you know anything about the Jehovah's Witnesses, but back in the 80s, they had a urban legend that they genuinely believed that if you took a Smurf doll into a Kingdom Hall, it would come alive and start like cursing God and trying to escape and stuff.
No, that's
yeah.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Well, he did say the urban legend.
I mean, they believe it, but they believe a lot of. I was a Jehovah's Witness as a kid, so I can crap on it. They believe a lot of silly things.
Wow.
So I took that, and instead of, and so Mimi, as her kind of, she's a Jehovah's Witness in 1992. Her sort of her first magical act is to make a Smurf doll come alive that then attacks the elder that was waving it around during a speech because she's just so fucking bored. And then the Smurf doll finds a Smurfette. I've changed the names, of course, for copyright purposes. And they sort of make about 5 million babies overnight, and then they destroy the city. So I'm probably in the mid 40s now with it. But the main arc, this story arc is 36 issues basically. You could kind of break it into 18 issue sets, but six issue arcs essentially. They're all connected. So,
all right, cool. Now this is the first issue. Now this arc would be what, 6 issues, 4 issues?
This would be 6 issues. Ideally, this is just issue number 1.
Right.
I mean, it's just, I feel like we were originally planning for this to be like a 1 through 6 big deal, full press thing. But it just seems like it's just a really bad time to take a big swing on that. With tariffs and God, everything happening. I just kind of thought that it'd be better to start smaller and then sort of build towards doing the full arc eventually. But yeah, it's a 6 issue arc. The art for issue 2 is almost done. and any profits from this will be going immediately get plowed into losing money in with issue 2.
Listen, you don't have to divulge so many of our secrets. You know. All right. I mean, listen, the book looks really good. I mean, yeah. So I mean, everyone go check it out. This is you got hold on, you got 35 days ago. You got 9 backers. You got $100.
Somebody just backed it. Thank you, whoever got the PDF.
All right,
You know what's weird? I'm starting to get emails from people like, I backed your Kickstarter, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, you think I'm not going to check that before I give you money for whatever you're doing?
Oh, yeah.
The scammers are just, you know,
with those.
Yeah. Scammers are just all over the place. But, yeah, I'm better at the social media stuff than I was last campaign, but I'm still apparently incredibly pathetic.
Gotcha.
I mean, you're like posting the 7. I didn't know there were 7 different ones. I guess there are.
Look at Jay's show card for his YouTube, and you'll see what you got. 10 of them on there.
I got 10 of them on there.
You got 10 of them on there. Yeah.
Do you
that doesn't include YouTube Shorts, right? And Substack, you get the Substack letter and Substack notes.
Oh
so God. You know, it should actually be fucking 12 of them. But it's like, how are you going to reach the people, right? Some people are here, like Tom said, right? I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to do Indiegogo for that one person. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But also going back to the funnel that we're always talking about, brother, right? These social media platforms are the first interaction that they're going to have with us.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to grab them wherever they're at and try to get them back down to funnel. We lost.
Who do you lose?
He says he's backstage.
Oh, yeah, there is. I got it.
Oh. James, I thought it was being too violent for you. Oh, my God.
Oh, God, no.
All right.
Well, real quick, I want to pull up what I'm doing real fast. So we have Rod Espinosa's Adventure Finders. We got another 4 days on that. Mm-hmm. So go check it out. But this is Rod Espinosa, and he's done work at kind of Dark Horse, Antarctic Press, and several other companies. But the story is about a young lady. She's adventuring out into the world. So if you like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like Lord of the Rings, you like Game of Thrones, this might be the sort of thing you might want to look into. This is the first time that I've taken on another artist that I'm putting out their work for them. So it's kind of like my first foray into publishing. So it's kind of weird. So but it's been a lot of fun. Rod's a really cool dude. He's out of the Philippines. We will have, we're offering up like hardcovers, soft covers. We're offering up signed editions. Well, not signed editions, signed book plates, and also book plates with remarks. So if you want, you go check that out. All right, cool. And then, because, you know, it's never enough. It's never
JD,
enough.
I got to say something. That dragon image up there where it was over the city, that was sick.
Oh, yeah. That's a gorgeous scene. As a matter of fact, once we hit $4,000, we'll be giving away as a stretch goal, it's going to be a print that goes up of that image. We'll be offering up a print. So, and this is a country night in New York City. This is an Oswald Chronicle telling a story about a young lady. Her name is Anna, and her father and her brother both died in a war. She's the only one that's left to protect her family name. The only ones that are left are her mother, and her younger brother, who's too old to take on the mantle. So she's out there and she's fighting for her people, and she's sent to New York City to rally an army to come back and defend her small city. So that's what's going on there. And I was telling the story, and I have this very funky cover that's Frank. You know,
what did we say the other day? He's running a cock.
She's right. That's why there's a lot of cock in that picture.
She's running a cock.
You know, then here's another. Also a death deal. Frank was at a death deal image homage. Get some of the pages from the interior of the book, and that's pretty much it. You know, go check it out. I got another, I think, 7 days, but we've already funded, so you know it's coming out. The book is already complete. It's finished. So this will, you know, and I do fairly quick turnarounds. So you'll be getting it quick. So another 7 days. Go check it out. Thank you. All right, Tom, you got anything?
No.
All right. So let's move on. All right.
He's
So,
here to hang out.
here's a question for everybody. Tell me something about one of your projects that few people know. Right? Something that you're working on your project, you know what you're doing, but very few people know about this specific aspect of your story, process, whatever. Right? It could be anything. So I think we're back up to Justin. No, that's not true. It was James. Sorry, Justin. James, you're first this time.
Okie dokie. I think some things that I don't really talk about enough, and that people may not be aware of. My sister Kira is a poet, and she helped me write the Ballad of Nod. She tries to make sure all the characters have good voices, and it goes through the dialogue and all that. She really adds a lot of depth. But in every one of the issues, I usually add in some poetry, either into a page or with the book. And I'm pretty proud of the work that she does. The most recent poem is about the little girls having to fight demons.
Oh, cool. Very nice. Mr. Ray.
I'm trying to find an image to show you guys.
I didn't ask for an image. I asked you your thoughts, sir. I wanted an image. I would have asked for an image. I'm only joking. Show me an image.
Canadians are very visual.
Yeah,
It's very true. That goes without saying. I think it's right here. I'm going to
just share it and I'll pull it up.
I have to re-download it so it's separate. Almost.
Man, we were flowing around. We were flowing so nice, James. Come on.
I got your back here. It is window, bam, share. So I'm going to tell you this cool story about this image here that has relevance to my comic.
There you go.
You see it? There you go. All right. So over 10 years ago, my best man, he's a Scotsman. When he was getting married, I spent 54 weeks making, you can sort of see this blade here. I just show it off because it's kind of cool, me slicing through a watermelon. That blade is actually in my miniseries, hiding somewhere, but it was really cool to throw that in there.
Is that you?
That is me. I have a beard.
Forget that. You don't have a hat.
Yeah, I don't have a hat. It's me just grunting really, really hard. But yeah.
And hitting the watermelon with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
The trick is to blink on impact. That way you don't get anything in your eyes.
Okay. That's not what they say in boxing, but okay.
Well, you don't get hit in boxing.
Well, but you do get something in your eye.
Touche.
Justin, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I guess I feel like I don't know how often I just do something lazy. I make a joke to avoid having to do work. Like in the first draft of SWAT, I guess it's my fault. I used I didn't make it clear who it was. So she drew a very tiny character, thinking I was talking about Tiny Tim, who's one of the characters. It was just supposed to be a dude, like a regular sized dude. And so I didn't catch it in thumbnail. So she's like, done, right? And I'm like, oh shit. And then so we just turned him into a garden gnome. And it works really well. I've been complimented about how funny it is that they're having this garden gnome calling a tip with a Nokia that's like the size of the gnome. And that's not the first time I've just been like, oh fuck. Anything to avoid rewrites, right? If you can make a joke and just make it funny that way, that's how you should do it.
Justin, as an artist, you sound like a dream to work with compared to some of the writers I've worked with. I try to be easy to work with on that. I definitely understand. Like I definitely don't. I wouldn't expect somebody in that situation where I kind of gave bad directions to do it for free. I'm genuinely interested in seeing what the artist does with stuff. So I'm not very picky at all. If I don't like it, I take that on me, not writing it well enough, really. So
All right, cool.
Anyway.
Tom, what are your thoughts?
So something happened with Princesses versus Zombies over a period of time. I wrote this book as a joke. Everybody knows the story that we've heard this too many times. It was a joke. People asked me, what would you do to write a zombie thing since you don't like zombie stuff? I said, I don't know. It would have to be something outside the box like Princesses versus Zombies. That's literally where it came from. And it just kind of hung around, and it got developed by an artist friend of mine, Jesse Wichman, and eventually made a book. And the book was big, just ridiculously successful. And I was like, Jesus, well, I guess I'm making this book. But I didn't really know what the book was outside of literally just Princesses versus Zombies. So as I was writing this thing, I was just kind of putting these characters in zombie trope situations. And, one of them is Mrs. White. She's our Snow White character. She's a hockey mom, right? So it's like, well, it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. How do I get 7 dwarves in this? So she's a hockey mom. So when she goes to rescue her kid from the hockey rink, there's 6 other kids, and she's just like, all right, all the kids in the station wagon, off we go. So we get the Snow White and the Seven Dwarves concept. But as I was continuing to write this, and I was writing the interactions between her and her son, Braden, I was just writing stuff that felt organic between like a mother and a son in that sort of situation. And when Hollywood started knocking on the door about this, a couple of producers were asking me like, so what is this? What's this about? And I was like, well, it's Princesses versus Zombies. I don't know what else you need. They're like, yeah, we got that, but like, what's it about? And so it started to make me think about it. And I had to go back in and start reading my own work again to kind of figure out like, what is this? What the hell is going on? And I started to see something that didn't really become clear enough until last year when my mom passed. And I didn't really get to sort of show her what I had sort of discovered. And what I discovered was that Mrs. White and Braden were me and my mom. Like it was an obvious, this is the two of us. This is how we interact. This is her in absolute protection mode at all times. This is him being a doofus kid doing doofus kid things. She understands it, but all of that kind of stuff. And so that was sort of the surprise aspect, even to me, as I was writing this book. I wasn't writing it in that regard at all, but going back through it and having somebody ask me, what's this actually about? It's about a mom and her son and just sort of a mother's protection in general, right? Unfortunately, I kind of figured that out a little too late to kind of pass that on, but I liked it a lot. I was like, I feel like I actually wrote something at this point, right? It's like I write so much weird fantasy stuff and superheroes and whatever, but I'm like, I wrote a zombie story that actually has something in it. And so that's sort of one of those, crazy accidents, I guess.
All right, cool. I like it.
You're right.
Jay.
What you know.
Yeah.
Apparently so. Whether you know it or not.
Yeah. Jay, what are your thoughts?
You gotta go and fuck me up right now, Tom. Hey, you gotta go do that, man. And I wanted to make a joke about how, the woodpecker's tongue wraps around his brain to protect it from fucking woodpecking. And then you come up with this, and I'm like,
I will never look at a woodpecker the same way again, Jay.
yeah. What do people know? What's something that people don't know?
Yeah.
Well, very few. Could be very few people.
I have a question. Your answer might be able to fill in this requirement. What was your character Wendy and Vicky Styx? What was the inspiration for picking specifically Capel Valley in the province of Saskatchewan, Canada?
A little bit of the movie Ginger Snaps and a little bit of the movie Ravenous, which focus on the Wendigo.
Interesting.
Sorry, I can't think about anything but my mom right now because Tom. You know what I mean? But she was. What few people know is that my grandmother lived around the corner from the bodega that Calderon's pop owned, and every time that I went to see Grandma, Mom would stop at the bodega and we'd pick up some fucking comic books. So I was buying Calderon's used shit, right?
Lots
That
of
makes
laser
your
blast
addictions in
magazines.
this industry his fault.
Yeah, well, partially, right?
Please don't put it all on me.
But you know, mom's contribution to all of this was that she knew I was reading the books that were being assigned to me as a kid in school. I wasn't reading, Tom and Huck and fucking Nancy Drew or the Hardy Boys and none of that shit, But I was reading Doctor Strange and Cloak and Dagger. I was reading Captain America. I was reading X-Men stuff. I was reading G.I. Joe stuff because Mom saw that I was reading. So what everybody doesn't know or should know is the reason why I'm making these books is because this young woman who was a widow at a very early age with 2 kids found a way to keep her son on the straight and narrow and give him some sort of, I don't know, brain capacity by allowing him to read comic books, which I turned into what I'm doing today. You know what I mean?
All right.
Fuck, I wanted to go joke. I was filled with piss and vinegar before Calderon started showing the goddamn.
I told you I saved the energy for the show.
Looks like you stole the energy, though.
Yeah, you sucked it right out of him.
Yeah, man.
I bring the deep stuff.
You're the opposite of caffeine, Tom.
Jay, that was really good answer, though. I mean, come on. How many of us have things in our books that are related to, who and what started us on those journeys? And that's what you're talking about. And that's what Tom inadvertently found out by writing that story.
Right.
It's good to talk about how family assembles into those things, because whether we know it or not, it affects it. So it's good to hear something so personal. Usually, dude, you're sort of joking in all the podcasts. That stuff.
I lost you. You're saying
James,
something I want to take.
You're breaking up, James. And I mean, I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of hoping you were saying, well, you're
sorry, guys.
Anyway.
I was just saying it was good. No, it's just good to hear something personal. JD's usually talking smack, and it's usually hella funny, but it's good to hear something personal.
Thank you.
You
I try not to. I'm very
proud now. Look at him.
Fucking me up right now, kid. Fuck.
Need another cup of Joe.
There you go. Jay, you okay, bro? Good slide.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. So
Dude, he's gonna come back with like a mask in front of him or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
A laser blast mask.
There you go. We make comics instead of going to therapy. There you go.
But you know what? That would make a hell of a t-shirt for a con.
Yeah, this is true. Now, should I just pile on for Jay? But I'll just go with what my regular answer. Well, what my answer is going to be is that working on Oswald, right? So I don't have to trigger him anymore. But working on Oswald, it's one of these process. It's a process that took me, I don't know, finished it probably about 3 years ago, writing it. So in that process, 3 years ago, I probably started it. I started in the 90s, mid 90s, probably about 95. So I figure about 25 to 30 years to finish it, right? But it wasn't until about 6 years before the end that I really figured out that story. You know, it took me that long to really realize, okay, well, where is this going to go? Right. And it was about that point that I locked it in. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is where I go. And for those 6 years up to the point I finished it, I wrote furiously every day for hours, you know, hours on weekends, going back and forth on the train to work every day, then probably another hour at home. And I mean, furiously, I have stacks and stacks of books because I would handwrite them. And and when I was finally done with it, I was just like, oh, okay, now. All right. And I'm finally getting to that stage where my artists are starting to catch up to me, where that final section, that third arc of his life, I'm going to finally get them on, you know? So yeah, that's something that I think a few people know about. But just to add on to Jay's problems, I mean, you know, one thing that very few people know about was my dad, who passed away a few years ago. I would bring him my comics, right? Or I would just bring my parents sets of my books. I never thought they paid any attention to them. When my mother told me, he would read them all the time, like ferociously, you know? And I was just like, really? And every time I would come over, he would ask, you know, oh, you got another book? I'm like, no, not this time, but the next time I'll bring one around. So, and it just surprised me when she told me that. She was just like, yo, you know, your father actually likes to read your books. I was like, really? So yeah, so that's just to add on to Jay. There you go, Jay.
Yeah, I got more for you, Jay. Ready? Here we go.
I'm fucking trying right now, Tom. Holy shit.
JD,
No, but
go to
my mom read my
Comics
stuff
comment.
too. So I have two things. They're both simple, but after she passed and I'm just going through stuff, I literally found essentially her comic book collection, which is just all of my shit that I ever. She would freak out on some of the art on the covers and stuff. She's like, "Oh, can I have that one?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can have that one. That's fine." So I found her comic book collection, which if I were to put it on eBay she had some stuff in there, which is kind of crazy. But then the other time is here's another thing that people don't know is I'm actually writing a book, like an original book in the background of all of this, very slowly. A new idea. It's not connected to anything else, but I would give her stuff to read and be like, what is this? Is this anything? Because she was a big reader. She loved to read books. And so part of the story is it's about a writer who has his own family, whatever. He's got struggles with his dad and so on and so on. So when she reads it, so I was like, did you read it? She's like, yeah. She's like, so that's you and your dad, right? I was like, oh my God. Like, you know, so again, there's that subliminal. I was like, no, but yes, clearly, yeah. So, yeah, moms have all that radar happening.
Oh, big time. You know, she was my protector. You know what I'm saying? When I'm doing one of these podcasts with you guys, right? And somebody was trying to reach me, she would call them. She's like, Jay's in a meeting. This is fucking big for her. You know what I mean? She saw me as doing something, and she knew what part she had to play in this. You know, so my pop died when I was 6. Right? He was one. He introduced me to comics. Right? I remember watching Spider-Man shit with him, and I don't know, some cartoon named Sports Billy. I don't fucking know if anybody remembers that, right? But it's fucking old. But he introduced me to comics, and then after he passed away, she did what she could, not just to make me read, but make me, you know, feel like his presence was still here. So she bought me. He died 3 weeks before my birthday, right? She had this party, and she had all these fucking comic book tchotchkes, right? Shit from like what would be in the dollar store right now, but back then the dollar store would have like 20 fucking things. And remember little discs that would have 5 ball bearings, and you'd have to spin the disc and get them to drop in a hole and shit, right? She didn't fucking know what comic books were. She got me this almost Ghost Rider themed fucking birthday party for, well, it was 7 because a lot of them had fucking Ghost Ray on it, and I remember like this motorcycle shooting gun and all of this shit. You know, yeah, man. She was. A lot of people shit on the New York Comic Con, rightfully so. Right?
That's just Tom. That's just Tom.
Excuse me. I do not shit on New York Comic Con. I shit on New York.
Right. Wow. So this is a mom story, right? This is mom, right? And here I am. It's my first New York Comic Con. Right? I got a couple of books, a couple of t-shirts. And it was my first year back at home after my life fell apart with my ex and shit, right? So it was a big to do. My sister snuck my mom into the New York Comic Con. Okay? And here she is, and this is a mom. And she's got a plate of pastelitos. And for those of you that are not Puerto Rican, it's empanadas, right? But it's Puerto Rican style empanadas, right? And she got a whole fucking warming bag and shit. This is before DoorDash. This was 2011. And my mom is giving them out to the people that are in the booth with me, to the people that are my booth neighbors, right? And then she gives me a kiss. She takes off. And she's taking pictures with everybody she fucking can. She's taking pictures with dudes dressed as Pinhead, right, from Hellblazer. She's taking pictures with a fucking dude dressed like Mr. T. There was a statue of Spider-Man upside down, right? They were promoting the Garfield Spider-Man, but he was upside down. She's taking a picture with Spider-Man, and she's kissing him when he's upside down. She had a fucking blast. At my New York Comic Con, at my first New York Comic Con, she had as much fun with this shit as I did, you know. And while she wasn't on top, right? Oh, you need to do this, or you know, she wasn't an at-home editor, but her presence was always there. In the shit that I make.
Well, JD, you've definitely illustrated that you had a supportive mom. He's out of there too. Those are cool stories to know that stuff. I wish to God I had stories like that.
Tom, you broke Jay
again.
You broke Jay. All right, so
truth is stranger than fiction in this case. Laser
you know what we need right now?
Break them. That fiction wouldn't work.
What we need right now is a Canadian question.
Canadian question. You want a Canadian question? How many beavers does it take to boil water?
Okay,
in the
summertime? Question from a comedian, not a Canadian-based question.
Fine, that way.
Come on, man, you can do it.
Okay, so comic related. When do you know, when writing a story, that the story is going to work? Not that it's refined or finished, but yeah, I think this is going to work. I've heard many different cases where it's just the premise, the concept. Yes, I can work with this. Some people, they'll grind it out and maybe get 2/3 through it. And yeah, I think this is going to be a thing. When do you know usually when the story you're writing is like, yes, this is doable?
There's your answer right there.
Never.
All right, Justin, what are your thoughts?
I don't. Maybe I should have more doubts about that than I do, but I really pride myself on being able to make it. I don't, if there's a certain level, is the inspiration there for me, right? Like, am I really in love with it? I have plenty of things that just sort of peter out, and usually I think like it's missing some sort of idea that is, the seasoning that was going to make it connect. And sometimes you go back and you add that idea in, and sometimes it takes 5 or 6 ideas before you layer it in and you actually have something that can go.
And then when your mom told you that you were
motherfucker, motherfucker,
she handed me the gun and she said, "Old Yeller's back there."
Like, go get him.
I'm gonna
it's either there. It's
Yeah.
with SWAT, I just sat down, opened the computer, and started going, and I never had 1 minute's doubt. It was the most inspired I've ever been. It was an absolute blast creatively. The 18 months I spent writing 1 through 36 was just fun. And so like I have no doubts that SWAT landed. Sometimes I don't know, if I finish the first issue and it's good, that's usually a good sign. If I peter out around page 14 and just end up doing something else, it's like a TV show that you don't hate, but you forgot you haven't watched 3 seasons. It's probably not that big a deal to you. So I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now.
No, sounds legit. No, that's cool.
James, what are your thoughts?
When I get a story proposed to me, because most of the time I'm the artist, if it creates a visual as they're talking to me, it latches on, and it just has different energy. If it is hard to come out, if I can't get my mind wrapped around it, I don't get enthusiastic about it. I might still get it done, but it's not the same. When it comes out easy, when it comes out, because I'm enthusiastic, it's just a different feeling. And that's about as accurate as I get with that. Because when it comes to what's going to sell, what people are going to love, man, if I captured that, I think that's something that I'm still trying to chase.
Cool. Tom?
I haven't done anything that I didn't want to do. Like there was outside of Princesses versus Zombies, which was a joke and became something popular. Everything else that I did, I had sat on for a while and sort of tried to figure out what is it, how does it work, where is it going. I did kind of push Legend of Oz into production really fast, but I also felt like once I had the idea, I felt like I had the foundation of it. It was off to the races. It started to write itself. So I think the completion of a script tells me that it's going to work to me, because it was ready to be done. If it wasn't ready, I wouldn't have even been able to get through the script. But then as you're selling books, and I've got a bunch of series now that have been running for many, many years. Eventually you write long enough where you can start really sort of tapping back on the things that you did before. So your continuity has become this thing where you can be like, yeah, we're here, but remember what we did back on issue 4? Like that's relevant, like right here. And that kind of stuff is really, really fun. And I think in the context of some of the things that I'm writing, that's what comic books are. Like, yeah, you have this through line of like, we're going from here to here to here to the end. But on the way, you're always kind of going back. Oh, but that bad guy. Oh, but that good guy. Oh, but that death or whatever. And you can kind of keep going back through. So it's sort of like a backwards roller coaster that kind of pushes you forward again. And you go back and you push forward. As I started to be able to do some of that stuff with Critter, with Legend of Oz, I could feel those books strengthening in their storytelling, because it meant that the things that I did before mattered to the whole thing. It wasn't just like a blip, like, oh, we're here. Okay, we're out. was like, no, this stuff mattered. This stuff mattered. This stuff mattered. And it helps build the world and build the characters and build all of that forward. So as I've been able to do that over the last few years, now that we've got like 25 issues of Critter and 30 issues of Oz, like you can really start using it and building something that I think is that, God, what is the word? Just keep going more and more and more and more. And I think the fans can feel that when that stuff starts to build and go. Like we're really going somewhere. Like all of it, we're not just here for a quick read. Like, this all matters. This all is going to be great. And hopefully we'll have a great ending, for all this stuff. The endings are going to be the brutal part because who the hell knows how to land an ending anymore?
Yeah.
Most of my stuff all had sort of a generalized play. Like I know I have to get here. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get here. I might take some weird side routes, but I kind of know where I'm going to go. And so I think that should help me when I get to my endings a little bit. But for right now, I'm enjoying the world building that's coming. And I think when I talk to fans about it, they really enjoy oh man, I loved it when you were, we had this character and now they're back in here and they're doing something. Like it feels like it's real now, which is really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jay, what are your thoughts?
When the branches start to form, right? When I'm working on something and I can see the possibilities pop up that allow me to explore the other ideas that were not there at the inception of the story or the character, right? And then when it hits like this, I didn't expect this to hit. I didn't expect this guy to fucking hit. He showed up in 2 books of Shield of the Interceptor, and people were popping for it. Right now, he's on the branding that I'm doing. He's going to be the pin that we do at New York Comic Con this year, right? And I'm finding ways to put him into other stuff, and it was just a background thing, and that opened up. So the branches are forming from that, and the branches are starting to tie into other branches, right? The trees are starting to overlap. And the story is yeah, that's right. What? There we go, brother. Eyebrow. That's the name. That's his name. That's his name. His name is Eyebrow. Okay, for those who don't know, I like punny names, right? I leaned into the He-Man-ness of it, like Trap Jaw or Triclops, right? His Eyebrow. So and when that happens, right? Look, fucking Juan hadn't chimed in all day. I don't know how long he was watching for, right? But I show him. You see? Thank you, Burks. Thank you. What about Orbiter? When I get that reaction from the people that are reading my books, they want to know more. Okay, so can I explore some of that stuff? That's when you know it's hitting. That's really when you know it's fucking hitting. Is when they're chiming in. Like, again, Juan hadn't said anything all stream. I show Eyebrow, and he pops in. That was fucking cool, man. I didn't mention his name. But boom. And Daphne said it earlier, right? Pull up that fucking thing that she said. We make comics instead of going to therapy. That's what we're fucking doing.
I pulled that up 4 or 5 times while you were off screen.
I mean, am I not on a fucking roller coaster in tonight's episode of emotional what the fuckness? Right? Holy shit. Holy fucking shit tonight, man.
Good job, Tom.
And Justin, just when you had mentioned that you were before you had mentioned that you were Jehovah's Witness, bro. Yeah. My best friends growing up were Jehovah's Witness, right? Their mom was Puerto Rican, their pop was from Thailand. Neither one of them knew how to speak English, but they were Jehovah's Witness. I mean, and these guys were my fucking brothers, bro. When I go to Richmond, I'm with them. I'm with them, man.
It's he probably shouldn't have been friends with you, but
100%. But they were, right? They were.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow.
I think everybody knows one Jehovah's Witness at some point in their life, but you know.
True.
Yeah.
All right. So for me to answer Ray's question, I mean, for myself, it's the ending. Once I know I have that ending captured and figured out, that's usually when I know, okay, this is gonna work, because I can usually build to that ending. But for me, it's always working from that ending to the beginning. You know, so once I have that captured and I have a good idea, it's not necessarily always solid, right? But it's usually I have some nebulous idea of like, okay, this is where I'm going. Once I have that worked out, then that's usually when I know a story is going to work for me. So, yeah. So Ray, answer your own question.
Partly like yours. The ending has to be. I have to sell myself on the ending.
Mhm.
And one thing, I'm a numbers guy. I like math a lot. Practical math. I don't like I'm not a fan of rocket science or advanced calculus or anything like that, but I do like comparing numbers. And for me, okay, this many pages, this many issues, there's the ending. The end of each issue has to have some type of statement or cliffhanger. Can I fit those in, and does it make sense to fit? And if those start falling into place, for me, then the answer was yes, this is going to work.
All right, cool. Jay, you got another question in you?
I'm all fucked up right now, kid.
That's what I was thinking, but you know.
My shit went on the glitch. Yeah, okay. All right. You know what? Easy toss-up question. All right. This is also one of the things in the top 5. All right, so we'll just do one. Whether it's movies, video game, comics, cartoons, TV. What is your favorite weapon or accessory?
Okay.
I'm going to make you so mad, Jay.
Something that breaks shields or what?
All right.
If
Ray,
you do
you're
5, I'm gonna sock you right in the mouth.
Ray, you're up.
I'm up. Shooting from the hip rather, without having to think. The ultimate nullifier. I think that's an amazing weapon.
Okay.
I really like that thing, man. That's just awesome. I always like Fantastic Four, just because it's basically Star Trek with superhero mask on, basically. And Ultimate Nullifier is right up there. I'm just going to stick to that answer, short and sweet.
Okay. Cool. James, what are your thoughts?
As soon as you asked that question, I turned into a 5-year-old, and all I could think about was He-Man's sword.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
I heard him yell, "He has the power." I heard
Sword of
Battle
Grace
Cat
Ball,
roar,
baby.
the whole 9 yards. The second you said it,
Nice.
like it's not so much that when he was in the cartoon that the sword did a bunch of crazy stuff, because it really did, but the fact that the sword was like the symbol that he had like some connection to the universe and he was special, so that I just identified with massively, dude. Everybody, every little kid, every human being should have something where they can hold it up in the air and say, "I have the power," and then run off to do whatever they got to do.
All right. Nice. Justin, what are your thoughts?
This might be a little narcissistic, but
Is that you that shared that thing?
yeah, the image I'm trying to show.
Is this the gun with the? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So in
I love
SWAT,
this
They
thing.
have a Nerf gun with magic wand stuck in the end, and when you spin it, it shoots lightning. So that's my favorite.
I love that gun.
That's cool. That's in your book?
It's not. It's in this arc, but it is not in issue 1. No.
It's on the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Tom?
So there's this movie called Laser Blast,
You
and in it,
There's a stipulation for wielding that laser. You have to be doing the Elaine and staggering around and carrying
And
it.
just kicking around.
Yeah, and jerking around like you're a downtown tweaker.
I figured there'd be swords on this. Swords to me are just, they're overdone at this point. Even lightsabers is like, I'm so tired of the sword and the lightsaber, and now they just get bigger and bigger and just like, oh my god. The coolest thing I think I've ever seen as far as like a bladed type of weapon is the glaive from Krull. That is like the most standout, unique, like it makes no sense because how the hell are you ever catching it again? But it's such a unique design and such a cool visual. Just as soon as you see it, you know exactly what you're talking about. So that's it for me, is the glaive.
Cool. For me, it would be the triple irons from 36 Chambers of Shaolin.
Okay.
Do you know how to use them?
Huh?
Have you ever had to try to use them?
No, I never learned how to use them. I used to practice with what was that thing called? It's I'm drawing a blank. But it was a sword that it was a Chinese broadsword that I used to practice with a long time ago. But there was, from my window when I was a kid, there was a guy who used to live across the street. He lived on top of what was once a bank, and he would be on there and he would be practicing with those things 2 or 3 times a week on the roof, and he'd be out there like crazy, and I was just like, wow, So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a Captain America mark all day. I mean, my book is about a shield slinger, right? Shield of the Interceptor. So Captain America's shield, that's my thing. That is my thing. But honorable mention goes to Indiana Jones's whip, man.
Yep, I can respect that.
That was the shit as a kid, man. Right, that snap, and he could swing fucking anywhere, right? I mean, fuck Spider-Man. We had Indy. Mm-hmm. How did it stay on his hip when he swung to that pontoon fucking airplane? I'll never know. I'll never fucking know. But it stuck to his fucking hip, in that opening sequence. That was it. That was it. Shit. Who knew? All you needed was a whip to defeat Dr. Octopus, right? No, nothing? Nobody? No?
I don't know what you're referencing.
Thank you, James. Yes. It was Alfred Molino. He was the guy that went in with him.
Oh, crap.
He went into the fucking room with Indy.
That's where he gets all impaled, yeah?
Yeah.
Super young.
Give me the whip.
Yeah, but he didn't get impaled by a whip.
No, but that's what he wanted.
No, but he died because he didn't have the whip.
He needed Indy's whip to swing across fucking the gorge.
Dude, I haven't seen that in so long. I remember that scene though.
Is that the one where there are like 3 villains?
Raiders of the Lost Ark, guys.
Yeah, the first
No, not Raiders, not Indiana Jones. The Doc Ock, and then the Sand guy.
Oh,
man.
Oh,
yeah. There were multiple
Electro
villains,
or
and the
something?
last Spider-Man had like 4 bad guys in it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Indiana Jones's whip, man. Fucking Indiana Jones was the shit, right? It was fucking great.
Really, I got to defend this now. I can't let this go.
Man.
Go for it. Please, if you can make him cry one more time.
He still needed his gun to kill the sword guy.
Yeah,
Whip didn't work
He
there.
just didn't have any time for it. He just put the bullet in him. Apparently, that was improv too. It was late in the day.
Yeah, he had
he had the flu.
diarrhea, and he didn't want to shoot
diarrhea?
the scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. If we're talking on the concept of the whip, we gotta mention the whip and rapier combo of Zorro.
True.
Well, yeah. I mean, but the whip was more used in Zorro the Gay Blade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was a great movie.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Which one? Tyrone Power?
No.
Antonio Banderas?
No.
Which one?
No, the gay Blade.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't process what you said. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, the gay Blade. Red like an apple. You know, the fucking one of the best fucking seeds. It's for the gay Blade, kid. No, but Indiana Jones. I mean, so many fucking people. You even had fucking Porkins in Indiana. I mean, it was Indiana Jones was a Star Wars fucking confluence over there, man. Right?
I always
Porkins
found
was
it
the one that
weird
got the arc from him at the end.
I found it weird how he was like so proficient with the whip, but was scared of snakes. I didn't get that.
Well, you had to watch the third one.
No, you're missing the point. The whip is basically like a snake.
Yeah.
No, because the whip was made of leather. Snakes are not leather.
But a shape. It's the shape.
It's
you would
pretty
think
much
that
the
if someone
same
was
imagery.
scared of snakes, right? He had the fear of snakes, that he wouldn't choose a snake-shaped weapon to be like his
I
thing.
get it.
Unless
I
he's
get
like
it.
Batman and wants to impose his fear on others.
That's
No. I
that's
get it. I get it. But see, I understand the whole psychosomatic nature of all of it, right? But it's leather. So the aroma and the feel, that was nothing. It didn't even have the gleam of a snake. Lengthy, yeah. I get it. But
I don't
no,
You
think
just
you
really
do.
don't
I
want to
don't think
admit you're wrong, huh?
I don't.
no,
think
I don't want to fucking with Indiana. Indiana's.
I'm not messing
know
with
what?
Indiana. I just find that an interesting. I don't want to say contradiction. Contrast is a better way to put it.
Okay, yeah. I don't see the
It's an
contrast.
interesting contrast.
I don't see the contrast. I'm with you. I know where you're going. You know,
I stuck
but
that landing.
Indy is he's top 3 all time for me. Top 3. He is, and if we're going pulp heroes, Indy is my top.
You know,
I wasn't a Doc Savage guy. I wasn't.
Hang on. If we're gonna go with pulp heroes, you got to talk about how cool Conan was. And Conan and Michael Korach, Elric, and all the rest of that. Indy was awesome, but when you read, those guys have like hundreds of stories. Indy's got like 4 books.
Well, the thing about Indiana Jones, I've joked about this with Gen X and their level of resiliency. Indiana Jones, everything is going wrong all the time, and it just kind of highlights that generation of, well, let's roll with it and see what happens next, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's a Gen X hero for sure.
Yeah.
But no, James.
I mean, he's got the whole line. Is I don't know. I'm making this up as I'm going along.
Yeah,
so that's Gen X in the line. Yeah.
And you know he was acting, because if anybody's seen any outtake with him and Mark Hamill, he talks about this guy like he's the deadpan of deadpans, right? Well, kid, this isn't that kind of movie. You know what I mean? That's what Harrison Ford is fucking known for saying. So he's a good fucking actor, because that's not what we get. I think the only time we got anything close to that was the movie where he was a Quaker. What was it?
Was it? Oh man, I don't.
Wasn't he a cop who went to the Amish town and then?
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Wasn't
He
that
hit
the
us.
Witness?
Yeah, man, I think that sounds
There
right.
you go. Yes. Oh, the Phantom was good. The Phantom.
What about Air Force One? Get off my plane.
Yeah.
When
that
he's
was the
talking to them, a
unofficial,
well-timed missile would rock the plane forward. I love that line.
Yeah, but MacGyver, I don't know. MacGyver was too PBS.
PBS?
Yeah. He was never dangerous. He was making a paperclip missile launcher. You know what I mean? It was he didn't get to the nitty-gritty of this shit. Fucking Indy pulled out his gun. MacGyver never pulled out a gun.
People's faces were melting in Indiana. That was not PBS.
That was wild, bro. That was
wax.
fucking wild.
For that time, that was an impressive display.
All right. I think we need to move on to the
Because
next
it was
one.
real. It wasn't even CGI. Like they were
No,
just.
JD, you want to talk about Indiana for the next half hour? Come on.
Yeah, man. You only got 10 minutes left. Fucking Indy. And he was a comic book.
Fuck Indy. Jesus
Has
Christ.
anybody
The fucking movies are mid anyway. Jesus Christ.
The last 2, I give you the last 2, but not the first
last
3.
2, how about the last 3?
Fuck no, bro. No fucking way.
The Dial of
What about
Destiny is the best Indiana
the fifth
Jones
one?
ever. I said it. And I apologize.
Ray, I'll drown you in Tom's Lake, Ray.
In Tom's Lake, in Michigan.
I'll take it to Tom's Lake. We'll create
Hold on,
that
how long would it take to
other
get
Harrison Ford movie where he drowned his first wife. Right? It's all, you know what? It's Harrison Ford night. I'm back, baby. I'm not emotional no more. We're talking fucking.
I wonder. We know about his dad, but we never learned about his mom.
So Jay, just so you
Indy's
know,
mom?
if you were a supervillain, your title would be the bipolar bear. I'm just throwing that out there. It's pretty accurate. You're up and you're down. You're all over the
I'm just going to write that down. And
Bipolar bear?
We're going to
Done.
happen. Yeah.
It's a 5-hour flight to get to Michigan from here. I'm just talking about that lake.
But you know what? No, I'm more like a seal. You know what I'm saying? So we're staying with the bear stuff because I don't mind water, I don't mind the cold, but unlike a bear, it's more like a seal because whenever there's food, you know, my fat ass starts to clap and shit. You know,
That is not
Stuff
the
some
joke.
knives up your mouth. Or
yeah.
I'd forgotten I forgot Dial of Destiny even existed. Thanks for
good.
reminding me.
Good.
You're welcome, I guess. That one makes the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull look like an Oscar, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Last
bro?
Crusade was fire.
Last Crusade was all right. Not going to complain
Last
about
Crusade
that
was
one.
really fucking good, bro.
Was this the Cobra Chicken book? Whoa, I need context to this. Cobra Chickens?
We were talking about Cobra Chickens on Friday.
Oh, I see. So this is just a continue. I get it. I love Cobra Chicken.
Cobra Chicken versus Bipolar Bear.
That's not bad. Cobra
They
Chicken
definitely
will be
know how
Chad
to run things.
Perkins.
I don't know if we can put that on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I don't know if there were kaijus. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they were kaijus. Yeah. Bipolar bear, you trick him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cobra
Like
chicken.
a cyber bipolar bear versus
Yeah.
a giant cobra chicken. I could see that.
Prehistoric Cobra Chicken.
Yeah.
That sounds not bad. That would make a good
Prehistoric
title.
cobra chicken, and then you make the main character Indiana Jones dealing with those two kaijus.
Make sure it's got some Stegosaurus looking spikes going just from the top of its beak in between its
Hold on a
eyes.
second.
all the way
Granda
down.
was saying over here in the chat, right? He needs some IP to die. Star Wars. See, but I don't think Indy should die. I really don't. Because the peripheral stuff was pretty good. The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles was okay. The comic books were okay.
No, but here's why Indy has to die
Why?
in an IP sense, because you can't recast Harrison Ford.
You're not supposed to. Move the
Okay,
fuck
so then
on.
it dies. When he
They
dies, it dies.
They give
That's
it to James Bond.
When he
No,
dies.
it's-
That's what I'm saying, though,
moving.
is you can't replace Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones.
But
Now,
They tried it with
it-
Han
it-
Solo. It
in-
didn't work.
In 20 years, maybe. But if you were to be like, do you remember when the uproar happened when they were like they were going to give the hat to Shia LaBeouf? People were like,
Yeah.
"Fuck no!"
Right.
And then they talked
Whoa.
about
But they were going to
Pratt.
replace.
That's not why they
This
did
is a
it.
Shia LaBeouf
Yeah,
specific
exactly.
issue.
Then they were talking about Chris Pratt getting the hat for a while
Yeah.
as a redo. Everybody was like, "Just let it go. We don't want anything but
understand.
Harrison." It's the
But-
same as Freddy Krueger. You can't do Freddy without what's his name?
I don't know because
England.
that the remake
Robert
with the guy from Bad News Bears wasn't bad. I liked it, but what you would call
Rorschach.
it?
That's the thing. It's casting. If the reason why Shia LaBeouf didn't work, it didn't play out. That movie was bad. It was it was really bad. And Chris Pratt, I mean, he's nothing like the character.
Right, Chris Pratt
Nothing.
went all
Yeah, Chris Pratt is too warm of a character to play Indy.
Yeah.
Indy is
Like-
the type of
like-
individual that is not Chris Pratt. Like
Yeah, and
Star Lord
exactly.
with a
Are
whip.
they going to recast
Yeah.
Star Lord? That's not going to be easy. When somebody nails something like that well and gets identified, like what's his face in Deadpool as an example.
Ryan
If
Reynolds,
somebody
yeah.
becomes iconic, it means that there has to be somebody iconic to replace him. But it's not
Yeah, but
impossible.
We've had multiple people play Indiana Jones already. You had George C. Scott play the old Indiana.
but not in the
You had the
not
guy-
in the understood timeline. Outside and tangential, sure, but
but
not.
you had
in
the guy from
understood timeline.
Boondock Saints play him. Come on, man.
But it's not Indy 5 starring Chris Pratt. You know,
All right,
or Indy
okay,
6,
so-
I guess.
So then look at what they did with Darth Vader, right? Where they put Hayden Christensen in all the footage that had already been shot already.
Yeah.
Right? Come on, man.
That's not
So
recasting.
Of
we're gonna
course it
redo
will.
all
That's
the
not
originals
recasting.
with new
That's
actors.
editing. That's editing your.
That's
original
editing. All right,
concept.
that's editing.
Editing. Yeah.
That's creative. Okay.
Force Ghosts.
Okay. So
Little situation.
And I don't like that they did it, but that is just
I don't
editing
like
your
they did it.
existing
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
So then, all right, here's one for you to fucking put everybody's brain on the glitch right now. So then, who is the Mandalorian? Is it John Wayne's son? Is it the dude with the dreads that does the stunt work? Or is it Pedro Pascal?
No one cares. No one cares.
I do.
Are you ready for the Mandalorian movie to tank like spectacularly?
Well, it's
My
not
children love Grogu, and I will
There
be
you
there
go. That's
opening
who it's
day.
for. It's
That's
for the kids.
Grogu, though. That's
Awesome.
not the Mandalorian.
It's the
Like,
Mandalorian and Grogu. That's
I
part
understand
of
that
the
people
counts.
like the dumb green guy, but no one cares about who
Hey,
that is.
He's
No
not a
one
dumb green guy. He's Baby Yoda. Get it right.
I have to,
No,
I have to agree with Jay on that one. He is
my
baby.
youngest
Yoda.
child, Jay, my youngest child, she saw Grogu for the first time ever at a toy store and said, "What's that?" "Oh, that's Grogu," because I was watching Mandalorian. I like Grogu. And then that was in the summertime. The following October, she got a Grogu Halloween costume. And we went to her grandma's house. "Oh, it's Baby Yoda." She looked at the grandma and said, "It's Grogu." Like, get it right, you filthy casual fan. It was amazing.
I love that.
It's
I love
Grogu.
that. I love that. That's cool.
So, Tom, you tell me you're not going to be first in line for the Mandalorian this Friday?
I'm probably going to see it. I have a con that I'm doing this
Oh, you
weekend,
see?
so I'm probably going to see it. But I will let you know how spectacularly bad it is immediately.
Oh, don't worry about
afterwards.
it. I'm going to see it on Saturday.
Okay.
Listen,
You can
we
dodge
all-
my review.
way.
We can all
Dodge
get
my review.
first. We can all talk about the Thursday night reviews on Friday over on Comic Book Stream Link. Don't worry. About it.
Can we sync up and like talk to each other while it's playing if we all watch it at the same time?
No.
What
I'm not
part are
gonna be
you
able
on,
to-
dude? Like, this is boring shit. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It'll be like when you were watching Laser Blast and you were doing your live review and like you stopped talking. I'm like, oh, he's at that pool party where nothing's happening right now.
Yeah, there's like a 40-minute doll time. Yeah.
Is
The
Mark
pool
Hamill
party was like
insufferable?
a shitty prom night. You know what I mean? You're expecting to get at least a hand job at the end of the night, and you get nothing after prom. Nothing happened in that pool party. Nothing.
Jay, I'm going to watch Megaforce sometime and review it like I did Laser Blast. I'll make sure you're tagged in the post, and I'll do
My
it comment
man.
for comment. Same thing.
Listen, we know that it's not good. We already
No,
know.
I'm not watching it for good or bad. I want to experience something that's from a different time that I can appreciate for what it is.
Okay.
That's all. I'm not going to bash it just because you like it. I'm just going to watch it because you've talked it up.
He's going to bash it because it's bad.
I'm going to bash it because Tom wants me to. If I were to,
Listen, let me tell you, I have never seen it either. I've never seen it. I've seen pieces of it. I'm aware of it.
I want to watch.
I've never actually like watched it.
That's
So here's
gonna
what we'll do, Ray. We'll both figure this out. We will both watch this movie, and then we will get online and we will do a joint review of Megaforce.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Megaforce virgins watching it for the first time, and we'll.
That is a great podcast title, Megaforce Virgins. Let me let you. Shit, that is fucking great, man. Megaforce.
Both review that
That's a
piece of
T-shirt, Tom. Megaforce Virgins.
You're not wrong. That is a good.
Be
That's a
pictures
pretty
of
good.
us doing this underneath the title. Jay, we'll just be doing
Holy
this on the
shit.
T-shirt. Double thumbs up, just
Oh my god, bro! I want a fucking picture with Barry Bostwick holding up a T-shirt that says Megaforce Virgins, and people just holding up a fucking unopened VHS copy. You know what I'm
It's
saying,
still
bro?
sealed. Yeah, I've got it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, that's fucking great. But just so you know, if you've watched any stunt show from the 70s on whatever, fucking Circus of the Stars, whatever the fuck it is, it's the same fucking thing.
I get it. All good. I appreciate it for what it is. Like, I'm not expecting MCU caliber CGI or anything like that.
You'll be lucky if you get Land of the Lost level effects.
I don't know. No, because you know what? They were doing they would pop the smoke. You know what I'm saying? So you had that kind of shit.
Yeah, that kind of shit is exactly the right word for it.
And you had missiles. You had missiles like season
You're
1
spoiling the movie
Gladiator
for us,
missiles.
Jay. You're spoiling the movie.
Seriously.
It's not missiles. The
We're
end. That's the whole
Megaforce
movie.
virgins over here.
Yeah, don't tell them about the
Megaforce
road trip.
Virgins.
Don't tell them about the
Fucking, I'm
road
gonna
trip.
run with that one. I love that.
Anyway, gentlemen, we've made it to hour 2, so thank you so much for being here. This was awesome. Please, James, where can we find you and your work, sir?
My work can be found at angrybrainartworks.com, and I'm also James Burton 8140 over on Instagram.
All right, cool, Ray.
You can find the Madcaps Facebook page. You can find me on Facebook as DM Ray. And you can find me on Instagram as Raymond the DM. Check out the Madcaps issue 1 to 3. We do have some the options of late pledging right now. Go check out the book. It's funded. You'll get what you pay for.
All right, cool. Justin?
I don't know if that's like a good
I know.
line. Like, you don't get what you paid for.
The money will go through. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. My website is weirdshark.art if you want to go check out the SWAT and some other projects as well. Obviously, Kickstarter's where it's at right now. I'm also on Blue Sky as justincoke.bsky.social. On Facebook as well. That'd be about it. Yeah.
Cool. Tom?
BigDogInc.com. Get your books. We'll be launching Goth Day this Friday, May 22nd. I will also be up at Traverse City Comic-Con in Michigan this weekend. The following weekend, I will be in Indiana for Hall of Heroes. And the weekend after that, I go to New York for the Oztravaganza show.
Cool.
So upstate New York.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really New York.
Yeah, that's not New York, but
Real New York. Real New York.
that's not real New York.
Real New York.
Not really New York. No.
You might as well say Boston,
Yeah.
right? It's its own state.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Jay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Fuck it. Forget about my book. You fucking upstate New York. It's the shit. Unstoppable Comics.
My mom took me to New York one time.
Oh, come on.
Anything to derail him.
I've been to Vermont. Does that count as New York? New
No.
York adjacent?
No, it doesn't.
I like how you're like, no.
Unstoppablecomics.com. You'll find all my social media links on that website. And then Friday nights, Comic Book Streamland, YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Justin, you got something to say? I guess not. Anyway, so you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those different places. Next Sunday night we'll be back, minus a couple of the guys because they're going away. But we'll be back with some other co-hosts that'll be interesting. And hey, how you doing? And on top of that, you can go check out Adventure Finders and the Oswald Chronicles currently on Kickstarter. And just remember, everyone, please check out the show notes. In the show notes are all of the campaigns for all these different creators. All their links are there. Please click on those links. Buy those books. These creators are making great books, very impassioned. They love the work they're doing. And I'm pretty sure you'll love that work as well. So go check it out. And please buy more indie comics. And, you know, I screwed up my own ending, Jay. You believe that shit? Terrible. It's been a long time since it happened. It's terrible.
Jay gets the intros and JD gets the outros.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So just remember, read more indie comics, especially ours. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.